A lot of manifestation coaches tell you to ignore the 3D. I don't tell you to do that. I tell you the complete opposite. I say use your 3D as a lesson, as a mirror showing you what you need to work on, right? Ignoring it's very hard. It's like the pink elephant in the room and you're trying to ignore it and there's a big fat elephant standing in front of you. It's very, very hard to ignore your 3D reality when you're trying to manifest. So in this video, I'll tell you what to do instead. So guys, I'm Loz. If you've not met me before, I've had a TikTok for almost 3 years now and a YouTube for about 2 years or something. And I kind of didn't post a lot on YouTube for a while. I was really concentrating on my TikTok. But I'm now going live on TikTok every week and then making sure these videos are uploaded as lessons onto YouTube, and then I answer your questions at the end. So just hold off on your questions and I'll get to them. But one of the major questions that does come up all the time in my free Facebook group, Subconscious Loz, on these lives on TikTok, on my YouTube, is what do I do about my 3D? How do I ignore it? Guys, you don't need to ignore it. It's very, very difficult to ignore what's going on in front of you. So if you've got a reality where there's a third party has come along with your specific person and you keep seeing them, you can try and ignore that all you like. But say you work with them and that third party is there all the time in front of you, kissing your SP. How are you going to ignore that? Or it could be a situation where you're with your SP, but there's a third party as in an ex-wife and you have to deal with her about children, and there's dramas with her that you have to deal with your SP, and he has to mention her name when there's school pickup or something. You can't ignore her, right? It could be things like you needing money and you have no money right now. You kind of can't ignore the bills in front of you. There are lots of different situations you guys are in, lots of circumstances. Well, you find it very, very difficult to fucking ignore the circumstances right in front of you. So I don't ever tell you to do that. I might have occasionally said it on a video, but most of you find it very difficult to ignore what's right in front of you. So instead, you do this. Look at that shit show in front of me. Kind of like the dog in the meme with the coffee and the house is burning around around him. This is fine. Nothing to see here, right? You can see it. But within, internally, you're thinking different about it. That dog in the meme knows his house is burning around him, but he's going, this is fine. So that's the way you need to be with your 3D reality. If it's a burning shit show around you, if there's a third party constantly in your face, if there's money situation happening where you have no money and there's a ton of bills, if you've just got a really bad health diagnosis and you're feeling unwell and you can literally feel the circumstances like pain in your body, it's very hard to ignore that. So what do we do instead? This is where the power of your mind comes in, and this is all conscious manifestation is about, a disciplined mind. So in the case of a health diagnosis or pain in your body, I'll give you an example from when I was at drama school. There was a play on stage and two girls were acting, and one girl was playing Clytemnestra in this Greek tragedy, and another girl was playing some other character, I can't remember her name. And the girl called Clytemnestra had died. Right? She'd been stabbed in the heart or something, and she dropped on the ground, she died. And then this killing her. And proudly stood on the stage and then went like this with her foot and literally stuck her stiletto heel through this girl's hand. Now, this girl on stage was meant to be playing dead. So she was lying on stage and there was literally a sharp stiletto shoe going through her fucking hand. And the whole audience were like this. And all the actors in the audience were like, horrified, because we knew what was going on. We could see it. And we were like, is she going to move her hand or what? But she couldn't, because she was in the play and she was meant to be dead. So what did she do? She told me afterwards, I said, how did you do that? Because she did not flinch. And she literally had a steel stiletto going through the top of her hand. And she didn't move. And what she did was she used the power of her mind. And this is what you guys need to do. And she was saying this. She was chanting silently in her mind while the steel cap of the shoe was literally going through her hand. I have a body, but I'm not my body. I have a body, but I'm not my body. I have a body, but I'm not my body. And she was separating her body from her mind and was controlling the pain she was starting to feel and overwhelmingly starting to feel by separating herself from the pain she was feeling and saying, I can be feeling this pain, but I don't have to experience it. I don't have to take it on board. I can separate myself. I have a body, but I am not my body. I have a 3D, but I'm not my 3D. I have circumstances, but I am not my circumstances. That's kind of the way to deal with your 3D circumstances. I have a body, but I'm not my body. I have a reality, but I'm not my reality. I go within and I change it. So that girl went within and was saying, no pain here. I can't feel a thing. I have a body, but I'm not my body. That is separate from me. That's something else. That's outside of me. There's me and there's my body. There's you and there's your 3D circumstances. And just because 3D circumstances are going on out here, it doesn't mean you have to change internally. And that girl had complete control over her mind in that moment to be able to deal with her 3D circumstances that were an absolute shit show. She couldn't ignore the pain of a shoe going through her hand. So what did she do instead? She went within instead and dealt with it that way. She dealt with it. And that's what a lot of you don't do. You're trying to ignore the stiletto shoe. You're trying to pull your hand away in the middle of the play and ruin the whole play and show everyone that you're not really dead, right? You react. Her reaction would have been pulling her hand away and going, oh, right? That's a 3D reaction. Instead, she went within and she dealt with it within. And then she said she honestly couldn't feel the pain after a while because she started separating her body from her mind and then she could no longer feel it. And that's how she dealt with it. It wasn't ignoring it. It was accepting it and changing it. And what you guys need to do is do the same thing. You go within, you accept what's happening, like the dog with the meme. This is happening. And you go, but I'm changing it. So if there's a third party in front of you all the time at work, it's one of your colleagues and she's now going out with your SP and every day you see them all handsy and holding hands and kissing, you can be looking at them in the office and thinking, all right, bitch, you might have him now, but you just wait. He's mine. You don't know who you're dealing with, right? And you go within in your mind and you see you and that SP together and you just banish her from your reality. It's very hard to ignore her right now, but you banish her in your mind. It's very hard to ignore a third party situation with an ex-wife. She's always there. So you just see you and your SP happily married and she's just an afterthought. Yeah, she's just the mother of his kids. You see the bills in front of you, but you know you can pay them. That's not ignoring them, guys. You go within, you change it. You say things like, I might have these bills right now, but I can easily pay my bills. Money comes to me so easily. I can always pay my bills. My bills are always paid. I can always pay my bills. My bills are always paid, right? You affirm the opposite. You imagine the opposite. You go within and see and feel and experience in your own mind visualizations or imaginings or a new circumstance that is the opposite. So if the circumstance in front of you is a shit show about a health diagnosis or a money situation of lots of bills, you think and experience in your mind the opposite. If you see a third party, you think and experience in your mind the opposite. You can see your SP together. You can see him loving you. You can see the ring on your finger. That girl's just a friend to him now. Right? Some of you find it very hard to ignore. I don't tell you to ignore because it's very hard. Now, if there are certain things that trigger you and you want to take that trigger away, like looking at the socials for the third party, then fucking stop looking. Block that bitch if you need to keep in line with what you want to be thinking in your mind. If things trigger you, guys, don't try and trigger yourself. So if you have to go to the workroom where they are all the time, try and avoid that room a bit, you and your SP and the third party. Like, instead of sitting at lunch with them and watching them, take yourself out for lunch and go within in your mind, go sit in the cafe, right? Instead of looking at the amount of bills every day and staring at them and going, oh my God, look at these bills, having them right in front of you on your desk, put them away and decide they are paid and then pay them slowly over time, okay? But don't keep staring at them, triggering yourself, okay? Whatever you can do to stop yourself feeling triggered and to allow yourself to go within in your mind and change the circumstance within is what you need to do, because ignoring is very difficult. So try and ignore the 3D if you really can, guys, but most of you can't. And I know that from years and years of experience of answering your questions and people finding it very difficult to ignore when they've been told by so many coaches to ignore their 3D. A lot of you can't, okay? Especially in circumstances where it's like a baby mama or something. I mean, how can you? You physically can't. People are like, just ignore her. Bitch, have you ever been in a relationship with someone who's got kids with someone else? You can't ignore the bitch. Right? So you've got to understand there are some circumstances where you can't ignore the circumstance. You can't ignore the 3D. So don't even try and go within and change it. All right, guys? Now, I have a course specifically about this called Fuck the 3D. And within that, I teach you to not let the 3D have power over you, that you need to run your reality rather than letting your 3D circumstances and your reactions to it and your feelings about it run you. Okay, so if you really have trouble getting triggered by the 3D, not reacting to it, not being able to ignore it or go within, then please go and get Fuck the 3D. It's a focused course. It's on my website, Subconscious Laws. Okay, and you'll find that course extremely helpful. It's got workbooks and videos to really help you go within and change the circumstances from within, so you don't have to keep reacting or getting triggered from without, and you don't have to try and ignore them. Okay, it really teaches you how, and it stops you from allowing those circumstances to take over your mind constantly. All right, guys, I'm going to get to the bottom of the questions. Oh, hang on, I should have started where I was because that's where the questions started. All right, guys, hang on. Let me get to your questions. Wait a moment. Did that answer your question, guys? Morning, Laws. So glad I got this live. Oh, mine went away with SP and couldn't keep his hands off me. Went away with SP and we're officially a couple thanks to you. Oh, went away with SP and he couldn't keep his hands off me and we're officially a couple thanks to you. Oh, wonderful, darling. I read that wrong, Mel. That's wonderful. What did you do? Tell us. How to be wanted, chosen, enough. Okay, so guys, if you're really stuck on that, go and get my self-concept course. It's going to be turned into an extended course in a few weeks' time. So if you want to get it now for the discounted price, the current price of $145, get it now. And it will literally teach you what your self-concept is, give you affirmations and tools to change those thoughts. Loz, you've changed my life. I'm forever grateful. Danielle from the squad. Oh, wonderful, darling. Thank you so much. How to keep SP when he's back. Well, guys, you've got to stop being triggered by what they do. So this is a really good video about triggers. If you haven't watched it, go to my YouTube after this, Subconscious Laws YouTube. It's my latest video, and it will really teach you about your triggers when they're there. Because it's when they're there that's the problem. So many of you can do this so well when they're not there. But then when they come back, that's when they trigger the fuck out of you. You've got to use those triggers to your advantage. Why is this triggering me right now? What mirror is this holding up in me? Showing me what I need to work on. Wow, I really need to work on that thought that they don't want me. That thought that they don't want to talk to me when they haven't replied to my text. I need to work on that and change that. You allow those triggers to tell you what you need to work on, darling. That's what you do when they're back. Because SP is back. Oh, that's wonderful, darling. In the state of rich and old money. Oh, good, darling. I don't usually contact SP when I'm triggered. I just want him to contact me instead. Laugh my ass off. Guys, you can want them to contact you all you like, but if you have a story that they won't, they won't. Right? You've got to change the story that they want to contact you. I'm so happy it didn't work out with my original SP and now I have the SP of my dreams. Oh, yes. All right. Communicating with SP when they're back and you get a little triggered, do you pull away and go and do work? No, darling, you need to go and watch this video stat. This whole video is about that. So many of you go no contact or pull away from them to work on yourself. Then they come back and you're just triggered like a bitch all over again. The triggers are telling you what you need to work on. Keep them there, please. Because so many of you get into this lulled, false sense of security when they've gone away. You think, I'm fine. Then they come back and they trigger you all over again like a bitch. And then you think, oh, fuck, nothing's changed. And then they think, oh, she's still a fucking psycho. Go and watch this video, please. It's what the whole thing's about. I checked my boyfriend's phone and he's sleeping with a girl for 2 months. Please help. Why were you checking his phone? So I can tell you why you were checking his phone. So your trust issues actually manifested that situation, unfortunately, darling. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but you've got to understand that you manifest what you are, not what you want. And you are a person with severe trust issues. That's why you even checked his phone, isn't it? Why did you check his phone? I've never in my whole life, in the 46 years of being alive, ever picked up any of my SP's phones and checked their phone. Ever. So why is that? Why are you doing that? No, I'm not. Did you have suspicions? Where did your suspicions come from? Were you abused as a kid? Or did you have a cheating parent or a parent who suspected one of your parents was cheating or told you that men were trash and would cheat on you? You've got stories about men or about yourself being hurt and therefore you can't trust your SP and therefore you literally snooped and snooping manifests cheating. So go and watch every single video on my YouTube about trust issues in my Ask Loz playlist and anything about trust issues with your SP because you really need help on that. Thank you so much, Loz. I'm so happy. Oh, Megan, that's wonderful. What got you into all of this? Fucking my life up, darling, honestly, and not understanding until a couple of years ago how I was doing it wrong. So I thought I understood Neville Goddard's teachings. I thought I was manifesting correctly and then the manifestations would fuck up. And then I was like, hang on, there's something going wrong here that I'm doing wrong. What am I doing wrong? And then when I discovered that I am the only cause, that's what you are the only cause truly means. Oh, thank you for the ghost cat. Then I started teaching this because I thought I had something to say. Because everyone I'd learned from on YouTube and manifestation coaches on Facebook groups didn't teach me that properly. Is affirming "no one compares to me" a good affirmation? Not if you constantly compare yourself in your mind while saying it. Guys, I can't tell you what a perfect affirmation is for you. Only you know what's going on in your mind when you say that. So somebody could say "no one compares to me" and think it's great. Another person could have conjuring up images of the third party every time they say that. It's up to you how you feel about that affirmation. Loz, how do I look past beyond hurtful things SP said to me? Circumstances don't matter. Guys, the only way to do it is to realise you are the only cause, and you caused the hurtful things they said. Do you think they don't love you? Do you think they're a hurtful guy? Do you think they're a player? Do you think they're nasty? Do you think they're mean? Do you think they're a narcissist? What are your stories about your person, and what are your stories about you? Why would your person who you love talk to you badly? What do you feel about you that you're not enough, or you're a person who gets treated badly? That's how it's happening. So you can't blame them, unfortunately. It's really annoying, but you can't. I needed this video 2 days ago. It was a real eye-opener, but I'm staying consistent. Well, guys, it doesn't matter if you've gone no contact or you acted like a triggered bitch. Go and watch this video and learn and fix it. You can fix it, guys. You can fix it in 2 fucking seconds by changing your thinking. It's all redeemable, okay? Working my best at self-concept, but are spiraling so hard due to my health and money situation today helps. So you're doing the complete opposite of what I just said in this video. You're allowing your 3-year circumstances of health and money to spiral you. So it won't change until you stop taking ownership of that. You've got to take ownership of the fact that you're allowing it to spiral you. You could have a health diagnosis and somebody else could have the same health diagnosis, and how you deal with those diagnoses that make the difference. One person can think they're going to live forever even though the doctor told them they've got 2 months to live, and the other person could go in a heap and lie in bed and just rot away and die. Which are you? Hey Loz, I love the squad. It's been so helpful. Oh, wonderful, darling. So guys, if you haven't joined the squad, it's my monthly coaching group for only $35 a month. It's such a fucking bargain. You get Mentor Mondays. We have mentors in there to help you. They answer your questions in our Q&A forum every week. And there's a forum there you can go and ask your questions. We have those mentors plus our valuable squad members who really understand how manifestation works to help you. Then they go live every Monday to discuss your questions in the forum. Then I go live every Friday. Plus there's mini courses. And at the moment, the mini course in there is Back and Begging, the ultimate manifest back your specific person course. I am dropping in about half an hour the next part of the course. It's week 3 of our Live in the End with Your Specific Person journal. And it includes a beautiful Together Forever meditation, a guided meditation to listen to every night, and a beautiful journal, a scripting journal for you to imagine you and your specific person together in your new self-concept of being loved and adored. It's a really groundbreaking course, guys, and it really opens your eyes about what you've been doing wrong to manifest back your specific person. And in a couple of weeks' time, about the 17th of November, that whole entire course that's now in the squad will be taken out and put on my website for hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. And you can get it now for only $35. So go to Subconscious Laws, my link tree, guys, in my TikTok or YouTube. Click on it. Go and join the squad for $35. Then you get sent to the link to the Facebook group, Subconscious Laws Squad. You put all your details in there, your payment name, your email and everything, and then you'll be entered into the squad. And you can come and see Back and Begging. Okay, it's a wonderful, wonderful course. Loz, you've unboxed yet? I need a voice note you. Unboxed? Oh, yes, I've unboxed. That's right. I put it on my Instagram, my unboxing of my Korean skincare. But you know there's still a Stylevana one that's somewhere in Perth in a warehouse, been sitting there for 5 days. I've got such a bad story now about Stylevana. It's fucked all of my Stylevana deliveries. The first delivery was a week. Now all the rest of them are fucked, darling. How do I manifest just moving in together? Well, imagine you live together, darling. So Back and Begging will really help you with that. There's a whole lot of scripting prompts about living together. It'll really help you. Fucking Stylevana. I tell you what, Sash. You fucked me with the thinking that you put in my head about fucking Stylevana being shit. I wish I'd never listened to you. I should never have listened to you. I should have said, of course, Sash, that won't happen to me. But I didn't. I allowed the 3 there to fuck me in the ass, didn't I? I should have ignored it. But I couldn't ignore it. It was right in front of me. I should have changed the story. My fault. As long as your skin is clear. Oh, thank you, darling. It's a filter, you know. Any tips on how to manifest consistency as a beginner? Oh, manifest consciously as a beginner. I can't read. Any tips to how to manifest consciously as a beginner? So you're doing it right now. So I'm glad you wrote consciously. So you realize you're doing it right now. So all you're doing now is taking control of your mind. Like, oh my God, I'm thinking this now. This isn't a good thought, is it? Why am I thinking this shitty thought? I need to consciously take a hold of my mind. Take control. Be disciplined. I'm going to think this instead. So whatever shit's coming up, the shitty thoughts right now, say the opposite. Every single time, the opposite of that as an affirmation or as a new imagining, like a visualization in your mind, or a new story that you can talk to yourself, have an inner conversation about that new story, the thing you do want. That's how you consciously manifest. Go and get my free mini book, darling, and mini video. It's like a mini course. It's got a video and a whole extended book called Everything You've Learned About Manifesting is Wrong. Go and get it at subconsciouslaws.com. It's on the homepage. Go and get it. It will really help you. It's all about your awareness and how you manifest from your awareness and how to change it. Going from friends with benefits to commitment, we have great communication, chemistry, and connection. Oh, good, darling. I have a tendency to repeat bad situations with different people, jobs, realise it's childhood trauma. Yeah, it's you, darling. It's not your childhood trauma. It's your stories about your childhood trauma. Your story about you from your childhood trauma. Don't blame your childhood trauma on everything. It's you. Somebody else could have the same childhood trauma and they deal with it differently. Don't try to blame your fucking childhood, guys. It's how you deal with your childhood. It's how you're thinking about you now. Don't be the victim. Oh, I was traumatised as a child, so everything's fucked. Okay, well, so was Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he worked out fine. Guys, it's how you deal with it that matters. Stop being a victim of your own fucking childhoods. What I teach you is how to not be a victim of it. So what are you going to think now instead? Have you done my self-concept course? Please do it. Loz, do you agree that the law of assumption community make it harder than it is? How are they making it harder than it is? Well, if they're not understanding it, yeah. If they're fuckwits who don't understand what self-concept means and they say stupid shit to you like you can also do self-concept or you don't need to do self-concept, yeah, they're making it a lot harder because they're not making you understand that it's just your I amness that manifests. So, yeah, a lot of dumb bitches make it harder, darling, because you get confused. But I don't really know what you mean by that. Oh, my God, Starvana is so amazing, Loz. It comes so fast. It's the best. Yes, that's right, Sash. That's right. We love Starvana because it comes so fast. And our Korean skincare deliveries are on our face stat within a week. The Bold and Beautiful started, guys. I'm going to have to hang up. I'm trying to affirm the opposite because I was waiting on a Starvana order. Okay, so any of us who've waited on orders, this is like a manifestation. If we're in the state of waiting, it will take ages. So this is a real manifestation tale, okay? I've got a story that this website called Starvana takes forever. Because Sasha put the kernel in my mind that it takes forever. I thought it was fine at first. And now I've got this kernel in my mind that this particular website is really scammy and takes forever. And so, guess what's happening? The longer it's taking, the longer the story goes on that it takes forever. And guess what? It's happening. Guess what's happening? It's now taking even longer. But I didn't have that story in the first week. So this is like you in the first couple of weeks of your relationship. Everything's fine. Everything's great. They're great to you. They're turning up great because you've only been together a few weeks. And then as time goes on, your fears start to kick in. Oh, no, he's not texting me back as quickly. Maybe he doesn't like me as much. Maybe he's like the other guys. Maybe he's a player. Maybe this is falling apart. Maybe he's pulling away. And then it takes forever for him to text you and forever for him to call you. And he doesn't plan dates and everything fucking starts to change because your shitty story about your person. I've now got a shitty story about Stalvana and then guess what's happening? I'm fucking it up, aren't I? See how this works? So the only way for me to change this is to imagine my Stalvana orders right in front of me, that I have my Stalvana orders, and Stalvana delivered those orders so fucking quick that you have your SP and he loves you and is in love with you and claimed you as his own and is a fully fledged boyfriend. Go and watch my latest TikToks on that, guys, about fucking up your own manifestations by delaying it like I did with my delivery. That's happening with my gym wear order. See, guys, you're doing it with orders on the internet and you don't realise your story about it is actually delaying the order. How do we know if we have a good self-concept? Well, your reality will be good. If your self-concept's bad, guys, your reality goes to shit. It's a direct reflection of your self-concept. If you think you're not chosen, you won't be. If you think you're not good enough, you'll be treated like you aren't. If you think things don't come to you or things don't work out, things won't work out. How's your 3D looking? Why do I always compare myself to other girls? Someone made you feel that way as a kid, darling, compared you constantly to cousins or sisters or something, or criticised your weight or something, or made you feel not good enough in some way, or abused you, and so you have a story that you're not enough as you are, and so you constantly look at other girls because you feel not enough as you are. So you need to change that thinking. Self-concept is the most important of them all. Guys, it's all there is. Your I am is all there is. If anyone's so dumb that they're saying you can also work on self-concept, it's like they're retarded and they can't read and they don't understand what conscious manifestation is, what I am even means. Do you understand this? No, I don't, but I'm teaching it and making a lot of money. You're a fucktard. All our orders are waiting on our doorstep. Mailbox, yes, on our doorstep. That's wonderful. People say self-concept isn't key, lol. Guys, it's all there is. Your self-ideas. What are my ideas about myself? How are they not manifesting my reality? Oh, yeah, of course they manifest my reality. They create your state. So you teach states all day long, but you don't believe in self-concept. How did you get into that state? Oh, I changed my concept of myself, my ideas about the situation and myself. That's your self-concept. What? So the way you got in that state and stayed there was to change your concept of self and then to have a consistent self-concept. Oh, I'm teaching this all wrong, aren't I? Yes, you should give up. you're fucking lost and you're confusing people. You think self-concept is self-esteem or something. Oh, yes, I do. Can you go and read Neville again and fucking understand this? Because you're confusing everyone. What if the opposite happens? What if it does? You manifested that. Guys, why are you so worried about the 3D out here, some of you? You're so concerned that it means so much because you think the circumstances matter. You're the kind of people who come in my Facebook groups of conscious laws and say, I know circumstances don't matter, however. I know circumstances don't matter, but. You can say however instead of but. You still think the circumstances matter. Which course of yours helps when being ignored? Well, where'd you get that story from, darling? If you do my self-concept course, or if you understand self-concept and want to go to the advanced love course, do Worthy as Fuck for Love. Either Worthy as Fuck for Love or a Kick-Ass You, my self-concept course, and you'll learn where you got those stories about being ignored from and how to change them. Hi, Loz. What to do when I reacted to 3D? Well, it doesn't matter that you reacted, guys. Just change the thoughts in your mind about what you did and what they think about what you did. If you think they think you're a psycho, they'll think you're a psycho. If you think you shouldn't have texted them and they're never going to text you back because they think you're needy, they won't. It's what you're thinking about what you've done that matters. How can I manifest if I don't have anxiety, to not have anxiety on a date? Well, go and do my anti-anxiety meditation, darling, on my YouTube and really get yourself in the state before the date that you are calm, you are in control, that your thoughts don't run you, okay, and really walk into that date with that new thinking. Is blocking SP a bad idea? What do you think, darling? I teach you not to be triggered. Isn't that being a triggered bitch to the nth degree? Yes. I don't understand anyone blocking anyone, guys. I have people blocking me left, right, and centre in this community because they don't like what I have to say. And I think, I cannot believe these bitches, these coaches who block me are teaching self-concept and they are blocking other people. The only people I block on my account are people I blatantly see copying me word for word, and I just think, sorry, you no longer have access to my content. Or B, spellcasters. Even people who abuse me, I just leave them on my account. I couldn't care less. And you guys are asking me if it's all right to block an SP. What do you think that's saying? What's the story you've got about your specific person? I'm angry at them. They don't love me. They don't treat me right. To then block them. So you're holding one story and wanting another story. You want them to love you, but you've got a story that they don't, and then you block them. So this story that you do want and this story that you actually have are not working together. You need to have the same fucking story. They love me. Why would you block them if they didn't love you? Why would you block them if they loved you? It goes against the story you're trying to create with them, doesn't it, if you block them? It's fucked up. It's like having a psychosis of the mind. You're saying one thing and you're doing another. Why are you doing that, guys? So you don't recommend going no contact with someone that physically abused you. Why are you even with a person that would physically abuse you? Do you honestly think I'm sitting here telling a person to stay with a person who gets physically abused? Are you insane? Are you trying to trick me into saying something and like encourage people to stay in an abusive relationship? Do you honestly think I'm the kind of person who would tell you to stay in an abusive relationship? I'm the kind of person who would say to you, how the fuck did you get in that relationship? What kind of shitty self-concept do you have to have got in it in the first place? I would never, and I repeat, never tell anyone to stay in any kind of abusive relationship, whether physically, emotionally, or mentally. How dare you put words in my mouth? That's not what I'm saying at all. I would ask you how the fuck you got in that. Ask yourself, because that's what an abuse cycle is. And then dumb bitches come on my account and say, are you saying I caused my own abuse? Bitch, have you been in an abuse cycle for most of your life, going from guy to guy who abuses you? Oh, yeah. Well, how did that happen? Oh, when I was a kid, I was sexually abused by my uncle, and I think I'm a piece of shit. And I carry this story of shame around me my whole life and think every man is going to hurt me. And so I've got in relationships every single time with men that hurt me. Yeah, that's manifestation. So I'm not blaming you. It means your story of you is still playing out, and until you change the story, it will play out. That's what an abuse cycle is. Go and ask your shrink and she'll tell you the same thing. So no, I'm not telling anyone to stay in a relationship that's abusive. I'm asking you to figure out how the fuck you got yourself in it. How do I change my 3D? SP said he was thinking of ending things after graduation because you've got a story he wants to end things after graduation, darling. They're only reflecting your thoughts out of their mouth. What were your thoughts? Hi, Laws. What happens when I revise in his mind? How the fuck do I know, darling? How do I know what's going on in his mind? None of us know what's going on in their mind. You can only know what's going on in your mind. What's going on in your mind? How do I know? What should I affirm to stop comparing myself then? That you don't compare yourself anymore, that no one compares to you, that you are good enough as you are perfect as you are. What story do I tell myself instead? Instead of what? What did you say? Well, tell yourself that you're together, that he would never leave you, that he doesn't want to split up with you after graduation. Where are you even getting that story from that he didn't want to do that, darling? That's a story about you. What's the story about you that's causing that shitty story that he'd want to break up with you? What do you think about you that causes that story? It's not about him. Guys, please stop blaming your SPs for your story about you that's causing situations in your 3D you don't like. How do I get out of a state of lack? I don't know how to believe the new story. You don't have to believe the new story. Who's trying to tell you to believe the new story? There's 2 questions here about believing stories, like believing you're loved and believing you have money. Guys, I'm not telling you to believe it. You don't have to believe it. You just have to think it. There's a big difference. You don't have any control about believing things. Struggling to know what love feels like to stay in the state. You don't know what love feels like either. Guys, where are you getting this from that you have to feel it or believe it? I'm just asking you to think it. It's very fucking simple. Oh, I just have to think I am loved. I don't have to feel love or believe I'm loved. No, who's teaching you that? I was watching Abraham Hicks or some bullshit and I got hella confused because I wasn't in the vortex and I wasn't feeling joy. That bitch is a psycho. Stop watching her. Guys, you don't have to feel it or believe it. Please just think it. That's where I get that from, lol. No shit. Anyone found the vortex, Sash? You ever find it? Never found it. I looked. Couldn't find it. Guys, if you don't like someone, does that mean I'm reflecting their own poor self-concept? No, you're not reflecting them, darling. You're only in your reality and everyone's reflecting you. So if you've got a story you don't like someone, why have you got that story? That's a story about you. Why do I have this need to make other girls jealous? I don't know, darling, because you constantly compare yourself with those girls. You want to be better than those girls. What's the story about you that makes you compare yourself constantly with those girls? Should I talk like it's going to happen or that it will happen? That it's already happened? I am that. You want to believe you am that now. Think you am that now. But if you want to think it's going to happen, sure. But the key is what you am, not what you want. I feel a bit triggered about what SP said last I saw him. How do I change that feeling? You're not changing a feeling, Nikita. You're realizing that your shitty thinking caused him to say that. What subconscious thinking were you having about him not wanting to be with you after graduation that caused those words to come out of his mouth? Stop associating him with the things he said and start realizing the things he said came out of your fucking brain. Are you listening to me when I talk? Please watch this back on YouTube when it's posted on YouTube. You're not listening. Guys, some of you really, really need to go and watch this video. You're not understanding that your specific person is only reflecting you and you're getting all kinds of triggered and going no contact and getting in arguments with them and splitting up with them and pushing them away, all because of your thoughts that cause them to act the way they are. God damn it. Watch your skin is glowing. Oh, Zane, darling. Thank you. It's funny. I stopped all my actives, all the things that should make your skin glow, and my skin's glowier than it was before. I mean, when I revise the event, he forgets. I don't know, darling. I don't know what's going on in their brain. I'm not one of these fucking manifestation coaches that says it's magic. And when you revise, bing, they forget. I don't know if they forget. They might forget. They might remember half the story. How the fuck do I know? I'm not in your brain knowing, have you completely forgotten? If you've not completely forgotten, no, they won't fucking completely forget. Trust me. They're a reflection of you. I need that Korean skincare. Guys, honestly, it's just a whole lot of hydration. Hydration, hydration, hydration. And I've really got a story that it works, so it's really working for me. Tips on truly embodying the person who gets all they want. Well, are you honestly thinking from the state of the person who gets all they want? Or do you have triggers sometimes like, why does that person have that and I don't? Or this is not going to work out for me? Or, oh, that means that bad thing. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis, reacting like and thinking like in your mind about every little thing? And if you can catch yourself thinking, things don't work out, why didn't I get that? How long is this going to take? You aren't embodying any kind of state of someone who gets everything they want. You've got to watch, be a watcher of your thoughts. Are you a watcher of your thoughts? That's how you embody the state permanently. Guys, I'm missing the bold and beautiful for this. Got you thinking. Okay, good. How do I manifest more sales and orders? Well, be in the state of a person who gets lots of sales and orders. Don't think you need the sales and orders or waiting on the sales and orders. Imagine you have the sales and orders. Imagine you've sold out. Imagine you have so many orders you need to hire staff. Imagine you are so overrun you need XYZ because you've got so many sales. Imagine telling someone how many sales you have. Imagine hiring new people. Imagine all the money in your bank account. My ex is doing all the SP things. I'm so happy. Oh, darling. But is it a bad self-concept to want other girls to be jealous? What do you think, darling? Ask yourself. I don't go around spending all day needing other people to be affected by me. I'm just me thinking I'm the shit. Why do I need to make them feel bad about themselves to make me feel better? Why do I need that kind of validation in 3D? Wouldn't that give me really bad, poor self-concept that I need that validation to make myself feel good? You don't have to feel it, just think it then. I didn't know that. Guys, a lot of you don't know that because you've literally been watching A-grade fuckwits who don't understand this. Okay? Look, guys, I feel really bad for you that you've learned from so many lost people. But I was learning from those lost people. And that's why almost 3 years ago I started this account, because I saw the amount of fucktardery that was going on here. And I'd only seen it kind of like on Facebook and in YouTube. I had never seen things like manifestation candles and moon water and shit until I came on here. It was madness on here. And I was like, what is going on here? There are some fucking idiots, tarot readers selling you manifestation candles $50 and you guys are buying it. Manifestation music. Listen to this song and your SP will come back. Bitch, are you for real? No, I'm not for real. I'm making a shit ton of money and I've got like 1 million followers from this fucking song I wrote and people are falling for it because they think I'm a witch and I'm like giving them powers and all they're doing is using this as a placebo, but I'm making so much fucking money and I don't care. They're the people you're falling for, guys. It's just you. It's you doing it. You're the power. If you listen to manifestation music and you think that means your SP's come back, it's you thinking that's causing them to come back. It's not the fucking song you're listening to. It's not the manifestation candle. It's not the moon water you stuck under the moon and then drank. It's you doing it. You're the power. That's how you manifested them leaving you in the first place, with your powerful thoughts that were really shit. Now you've got to change those powerful thoughts to really good thoughts. That's all this is, guys. It's all you're consciously doing. You're consciously changing your thinking. Ta-da! New manifestation. Guys, it's that fucking simple. You make me laugh. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Loz, do you manifest things I visualize once and don't care about, but not when I do about things I want? Because you want them so badly, you've got a fearful story about them. It's not the thinking about them once and they manifest. It's the thing you care about the most. You mostly have a lot of really shitty stories about. It's not about the doing it once. It's not about that. It's not. That's when people think it's called letting go and they thought they let go of it and then it worked. It wasn't that they let go of it. It was because they got rid of the fearful thoughts about it. That's what they let go of. I will be, oh, that's ridiculous, Brent. I will be live another time this week, but because I'm working on the extension of the self-concept course, I'm very, very busy. So I'm not as live as much as I used to be. So guys, please do come and watch my latest video on YouTube. Don't go no contact with them. If you ever get triggered by your SP, if you keep pushing them away because you got triggered, if you go no contact with them, you don't even need to watch this if you're in no contact or go no contact. It's about your triggers and why they're triggering you and what to do about it. It's on my YouTube, Subconscious Laws, right now. Go and watch it. Make sure you subscribe. There'll be lots more videos this week. There's also my Instagram. It's got daily lessons and stories, and also my Subconscious Laws free Facebook group. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.